Hello everyone, it's your Bud. In today's video, we will be talking about mythology and superhumans, aka metahumans and myth, and how they can be one and the same. Now, I woke up pretty late today. It's between 2 and 3 in the afternoon, so this might be a bit shorter, and I'll be putting most of my effort into the visuals. I stayed up late last night recording lots of the visuals. It should be pretty good. I'll let you decide for yourself what the difference between a god and a mutant, super, meta, evolved, or one with a quirk is. Where's the line? I will relate the three omnis of God and let you decide for yourself. There's omnipotence, omniscience, and omnipresence, meaning all-powerful, all-knowing, and all-seeing. And at what stage of one moving closer to an omni-state than humanity has achieved does too much of that omni-state make the being cease to be human? Is it human to be mortal? Can a superhuman have any level of power, knowledge, or true sight without ceasing to be what makes us a collective species? Or ceasing to be what makes them part of the collective species, rather? The things I used in this video are the noble phantasms from the Fate series, aka historical superpowers, Watchmen, aka 20th century superpowers, mostly focusing on Dr. Manhattan, Ego from Guardians of the Galaxy, aka approaching an omni state that leaves behind any curiosity to bond and learn from others, instead only attempting to control all as a furthering of its omni state. As Ego said, that's the mortal in you. We are beyond such things. Also, Apocalypse from X-Men, another historical/mythological super who ruled as a god and seeks to once again. And a completely different thing, but a kind of related one, Tet, the god of his own world of Disboard, from No Game, No Life, who made me have a bit of a theological crisis when I realized that my hero might follow the whole Elon Musk crazy we're in a simulation theory, which in superpowers term would be like Dr. Manhattan creating life, or a whole parallel universe, or a dream universe. Could the whole My Hero story take place in the first Quirk baby's dream world? I'm sure there's a bunch of people that have already said that before, but anyways, until we as humans reach an omni state, I believe we will never know for sure the true state of the universe and its creation. I think we can understand much, but not all. Now, to loop back to Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen, a news reporter says of him, "I said God is real and he's American." Now, if you begin to feel an intense crushing feeling of religious terror at the concept, don't be alarmed. That indicates only that you are still sane. And now going back to the Fate series, we see how humans with such powers would be treated, whether they were true gods or not, and I'm kind of mentioning a bit of the Fate Babylonia series as well. As beings reaching a furthering of an omni-state can serve the same purpose as a god to humans. Think of the demigods of Greek myth, like Hercules or Perseus. I guess it'd be Heracles. They're a good fit for this topic too, though Hercules might be a bad choice, even though he's one of the servants in the Fate series. I think that Perseus might be a really good, or maybe the best representation of how those with more power would lead humans and still live with them, for a time at least. While others like the Golden King Gilgamesh from Fate seek to impose their understanding, awareness, and power to not only guide and encourage humans, but to choose humanity's path for what they believe to be humanity's betterment. I also wanted to mention Ryder from one of the Fate series, I believe it's Fate Stay Night, whose noble phantasm is to create a separate dimension where all those he conquered in real life as Alexander were still loyal and waiting to fight for him. Though it's unknown if they existed in a real sense, actually waiting out the time, or if they appear as a summoned army and maybe they're just spirits that don't actually exist in between the times they're summoned. But potentially that's just another thing that I wanted to mention, that someone with a noble phantasm in Fate can have a separate world, and is kind of related to the Tet thing, of how Tet has his own world and he's the god of it, and he just brings people from other worlds into his own world. So yeah, just something to relate to that. So as I stated in the beginning, any being approaching an omni state of either omnipotence, omniscience, or omnipresence ceases to be a human in our eyes. In our eyes, they become more. They move beyond humanity. And though some may desire this while others may fear this, I feel that reaching any of those omni states would eventually result in such a disconnect from humanity that the being would cease to be anything but terrifying to us, like the Greek god Chaos or Dr. Manhattan. I realize that if all omni states are achieved, then of course there must be an omni-love state of being, where loving all occurs, yet I don't think this is played with enough, except with actual mythology and gods. But with supers, the closer they are to humans, the more we like them. Kal-El is Superman, not super Kryptonian dude. Diana Prince is Wonder Woman, not Wonder Demigoddess. The terror mentioned at the Omni state that Dr. Manhattan achieved, and Ego and Apocalypse seek to achieve, is one that only occurs when the super becomes the divine, and as stated in the start of this video, that is entirely up to you to decide what the line is, which makes god fights like those from the Immortals movie. If you haven't seen Immortals, it's pretty cool. I think it's a Zack Snyder one, so interesting that I just mentioned Superman before, but in the movie Immortals, Zeus truly loves humanity, but so much so that he will fight his own children when they seek to aid the humans, killing one of his children for interfering with man's destiny. And though Zeus teaches and imparts wisdom upon Perseus, he does it to allow humans to choose to follow Perseus or not. Having his children take action removed humanity's agency, and though Zeus can definitely 100% be seen as a terrible god, it's yet even more complicated as he's one that sees a path that he desires humanity to take, even if it costs him his own children, and he does not force humans down that path. Instead, he gave them a guide for that path in the form of Perseus, and allows humans to follow the example should they strive to achieve it. So omnipotence, omniscience, and omnipresence, the three things that will take a super and make them a god, and depending on the general level of an omni state of humanity, can separate them from the species, meaning that if an ancient, near-omniscient being lived in the perfect human society, they might still be a part of it. Yet the further back in history one goes, the more of a separation occurs between those who reach such a state and the masses of humanity. So, what do you think of this topic? As I said in the beginning, I slept pretty late today, so most of this is going to be done with some cool visuals instead. At what point could a quirk in my hero equal the powers of Dr. Manhattan? Has it already occurred? I'd like to hear your thoughts below. And just a quick message to my subscribers, tomorrow I'm going to be putting out a music video I've been working on for the past few days, and then I'll return with at least one more separate superhero story before we get into the big My Hero's First Generation of Heroes video, or First Generations of Quirks video, which I'm now super pumped to make. I just saw the You Are the Ninth clip on YouTube last night, and now I know why I got this request from you at this specific time. I am so excited now. So tomorrow there will be a music video, the next day one more superhero world I know you'll enjoy. It's a funny and crazy one, nothing serious, just 100% crazy superpower nonsense. Past few videos have been about more serious shows, and this will change the opinion of how godly superhumans can be. As great as those approaching an omni state are, it's just as fun to see a ridiculous world like the next one I'm gonna feature. So leave this video a like if you want me to talk more about mythology and metahumans. There's so much more that I can talk about when I'm not sleeping away most of the day. So yeah, sorry about that, but I stayed up pretty late recording stuff, and today's just a bit of a rough day, so I'm gonna put most of the effort into the editing. Subscribe for daily videos. I make at least one video every single day, and stick around for some more superpower stuff in the next few days after tomorrow's music video. And leave any questions or suggestions in the comments below, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.